Alright, we are starting this video off up at the office. Getting a little bit of work done, just having some trouble connecting to the internet, but we will get it solved. Anyways, look at this view. Absolutely gorgeous. Top floor of one of the tallest office buildings in all of Orange County. Absolutely amazing, stunning view. I love the lighting. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Hopefully the sound is good inside of here too. But I want to start this off here. I don't know where we're going to end up by the end of this video. I want to go through and really put all my thoughts into one place and kind of explain what's going on with a lot of different payment processors that includes and is not excluding Stripe and PayPal. So these two platforms, I want to kind of explain a little bit more behind them because I myself have been learning a lot about these platforms, how they react, and if you're doing anything like e-commerce, whether that's drop shipping or not, those two platforms specifically don't necessarily support the business model. So if they find out you're doing something like that and processing your sales through their platform, the odds of you getting terminated are extremely high. And while that might not be a big problem, you think, oh, I can just go open another Stripe. You can, okay? They're an aggregator. All they're doing essentially is they're not even doing any sort of underlying cause. They're not looking at anything until after you get your first order. So it's not hard for you to get approved for a Stripe account, right? Now, me personally, and they do this to a lot of people, especially people who constantly run e-com stores and whatnot, is they'll actually kick you off of Stripe. So that doesn't mean your individual account is gone. That means your name is banned, your social security, the last four, your address, phone number, your IP. They're gonna kind of track you from all angles, very similarly to how Facebook ads will, or just Facebook, when they ban you from their ad platform if that happens to you. So I want to explain a little bit about what to do, things you can avoid, things that I'm learning. First of all, it's never been that big of an issue because I can always open more accounts, and it's been just like recently, I don't want to say kind of getting shut down, but it'll work for a little while. They'll put my money on hold. Like right now I have a lot of money on hold that I haven't seen in like 4 months, and I'm not going to see it for another 3. So unfortunately, the first thing that I want to say inside of here is there's nothing you can do when your money gets held in reserve. There's very, very little, okay? And unless you're someone where, let's say you made $10,000 in sales and you had ad cost out of that, you had product cost that you had to pay, and you haven't gotten that money, so you're at a loss, that can be annoying. But for a lot of this stuff, I don't really care when I get the money as long as I'm gonna get it. So that's just me personally. Now, one of the things I'm doing actually is working directly with a payment processor that I have to leave unnamed right now, but they have nothing to do with like the internet space and the e-commerce, which is really interesting. So we're trying to set something up where I can actually go ahead and utilize that for e-commerce and everything else I do, and just process orders for clients through there, for things with my personal brand, literally everything, to try and see how we can better structure that. Because to give you a little bit of background, PayPal, they just don't like a lot of business models, to say the least. They have, I don't want to say a blacklist of business models, but there's a lot of things that they just don't want to deal with, and they're very heavy-handed, which means if there's an issue, if there's potentially a chargeback, or if there's any sort of problem, to say the least, that would require them to put in their time, they're just gonna like wipe you off the platform. They don't care. They're like, oh, we'd rather not make the money and the commission from your sales and just kick you off of here. So that's what you're gonna see very frequently with Stripe as well. So Stripe is a platform that actually, they're not their own processor. They are essentially outsourcing to a third party. So if you're getting an email from Stripe support, the odds of that being from like India or something is extremely high, right? They're outsourcing that. So they're not actually really looking at anything, which is why your account gets approved immediately. So even me with being banned on there, if I were to today go ahead on my laptop right now and open up a Stripe account, the thing that's gonna happen is it will get approved, and about 30 minutes to an hour, a couple hours later, it's gonna get shut down before I even put any money through it. So I'm not here to complain, obviously, or anything. I want to give you guys some solutions and talk about a little bit more than just payment processors, but some of the downsides of doing something like e-commerce, because there is a lot. What do you do when Stripe shuts you down? What do you do when PayPal shuts you down? What do you do when Facebook shuts you down? These are questions that you might run into, and if you're not prepared for them, you're gonna run into issues. It's as simple as that, okay? So the type of approach I'm gonna take in this video is a little bit different. What I'm gonna go ahead and do right now, I just had this idea. I'm gonna call up a couple of my buddies who I know have had issues with this, who I know make a lot of money with e-commerce and do all sorts of things through these two platforms. Primarily, we're gonna talk about a Facebook ad account too, but Stripe and PayPal, okay? So the main payment processor gateways, I want you to hear their opinion on it, okay? So what we're gonna go ahead and do is the first person we're just gonna call randomly out of the blue. They have no idea I'm calling, so we'll see who answers. We are going to give a FaceTime to Sebastian. Oh, look, and he picked up. You're on camera, buddy.
To who?
To my YouTube channel.
Oh, all 5,000 of your subscribers?
Wow, you missed your flight to Bali. Okay, well, I just had this idea. I'm not cutting this at all. I randomly FaceTime you. The topic of this video, I want your opinion on what to do when Stripe or PayPal shuts you down. Any information on that, things you've run, and just share your experience. 1 minute.
What to do when Stripe or PayPal shuts you down?
Have you had issues with them?
I've never had issues with Stripe. I've had issues with PayPal holding up my money. My thing with PayPal is I don't use them anymore. Sorry, I'm sick.
Oh shit, is that why you missed your flight to Bali?
No, I just slept through it.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't use PayPal for my stores or for anything anymore. And that's how I avoid that issue. And for Stripe, there's plenty of places that you can find another other places like authorized.net is something that Thaddeus uses because he has issues with Stripe and PayPal as well. So he uses authorized.net and he's never had a problem with it.
Yeah, authorized is a good one. That also helps you link to any other payment processor, by the way. So if you have others, you can link through it.
Yeah, so that's what he does. But like I said, I've never had a problem with Stripe, so I'm using Stripe right now.
Dang. And you've had PayPal lock your money, right?
Yes.
And how long did they lock it for? 180?
I think it was 90 days. Yeah, 3 months.
Dang, you got lucky, buddy.
Yeah, I got a fat paycheck when that was over.
I know, I'm feeling the same way right about now. I'm waiting for mine.
And then I think Teachable never locked up. They just pay super late for something else. But yeah. I've never had a problem with Stripe, so I don't know.
Any specific tip or advice you can, or things that you can add onto this topic of the negatives and downsides of just e-commerce? I know you know a lot.
It's difficult because if you're starting with like a low budget and like it's your first time and then PayPal like locks your stuff up and like let's say your margins were already low, like it'll just screw you over. Like you'd probably be breaking even because I know even Shopify will hold like sometimes they'll do 20% hold or 25% hold. So like if any of these processors lock up your money, like it's just so discouraging because it's like you'll probably get close to breaking even if they take more than 25%, or you'll just be barely profiting.
Yeah, which makes it tough.
But yeah, just keep working through it, I guess.
Look at that, Sebastian coming through with the reply. All right, we're gonna see who else answers the phone. Oh, is that you got a GTR? No way.
I bought another one.
Oh, you got yours out of the impound. How did that go?
It was good.
So as you can see there, based on what Sebastian said, it kind of falls in line with a lot of these issues, and you're gonna see a reoccurring theme. Hopefully this other person picks up the phone. I don't know, we might call a few random people, but I really like what he said about the issue of margin and them holding your money, which is what I just talked about before we called him, which can be a serious issue, especially if you have a low budget and you might not have any like external money to play with. So if you end up getting it locked, any sort of rolling reserve, or maybe all of it, all the revenue locked up, you could actually be at a loss, let alone break even. So that might inhibit you from continuing to do any sort of e-commerce, which it's just a massive headache, okay? It really is. So let's go ahead and we are going to phone in the next person. Let's see. Who do I think is gonna pick up the phone? We'll give Tanner Planis a call. Which one should we give? Tanner Plains Biz, Tanner Plains. Let's see which one he answers. Don't let me down, buddy. You're on camera. Oh man. I'm on my way to what? Tanner!
What's up?
What's going on, guys? Tanner Plays coming back at you with a brand new video.
Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe, like, and comment.
Alright, Tanner, you're on camera and I can't cut this. This is part of the video, okay? What issues have you had with Stripe and PayPal when it comes to e-commerce?
Well, my first store that hit 6 figures, I was using PayPal and the Shopify payments. And PayPal, they held like 20 grand. Because they have issues with like shipping and tracking numbers. It takes a while with AliExpress, so it's hard to put that all in. And they were getting mad, and they held my money basically until I called like after the 180-day period or whatever it is. Like they can only hold the money at a specific time.
Yeah.
And then I told them like release my money, and they're like okay. But they said they'll deactivate all my other PayPal accounts. So now I don't use PayPal for e-com stuff. It's just annoying. Stripe. Yeah, they don't like dropshipping stores either.
I know, that's what I was telling the video. So what's your solution to everything? What's something you can do? I know a lot of people who are watching this right now will Cash on, cash on delivery. Yeah, like, you know, what's something you can do to help avoid that? Or well, you're also underage, so that's part of it.
Yeah, but Shopify notices, like, they can tell if you're drop shipping or not. Like, they can look at all the back end stuff. So really, what it comes down to is just like making it like the branding of everything. Because like if that works, then Shopify payments works. Of course, they take the fees every transaction, which is annoying. But I haven't had really much issues with Shopify payments. Sometimes they're like, all right, you can't sell this on your store, take it down, or things like that. But as far as payments go, like even Shopify right now, like on all my stores, they hold like 30% for 90 days or whatever it is.
And do you really care too much if they're holding it, but you know you're gonna get it? Like I personally don't.
I don't, but if I was someone that was just starting out and I needed that money, if I was like losing money,
your margin, exactly, yeah.
That would definitely make me mad, but
that's funny. I said the same thing at the beginning of the video, then Sebastian said the same thing, and now you just said it, the margin part with that.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Right. Cool. Any other let me give you this, something specific. I didn't ask anyone else this. What to you is the most annoying thing about just drop shipping?
I would say fulfillment.
Ooh, I like that.
If you don't have a good connection with your supplier, then they're going to be slow with the processing times. Because usually I talk to them, instantly and tell them like, look, we're going to have 20 to 50 orders a day, whether you are or not, and they're going to be on it. And tell them like, continuously keep fulfilling them on time and just shipping them out earlier than expected. If you want, continuous business. If you don't have good fulfillment, of course it's going to take some time to get there. It's just the reassurance of your customers, letting them know that it's on their way, sending emails as soon as it's shipped out with the tracking, emailing them before customer support, really just the customer gratification.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Are you at the warehouse right now?
I'm at the warehouse.
He's at the warehouse. Back in business, baby. Cool. Well, hopefully everyone watching appreciated the words of wisdom there from the Gucci hat man himself.
I'm heading to Miami. See you there.
Boom. See you there, brother. Take care. I want to flip this into someone who also does social media marketing and sells a lot of stuff using Stripe online through Shopify, if that makes sense, for their clients. So let's see if he picks up here. I know for sure he's had some issues with probably PayPal as well too, to be honest. Cuban.
What up, G?
Hey, buddy, you're on camera and I can't cut it.
What?
All right, I have a question. We have a question. Look at that.
What's going on? I'm Susie's here too.
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, what's up?
All right, have you ever had any issues with Stripe or PayPal?
Actually, no, I haven't.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
You know why I hate it? Because I don't do everything friends and family, homie.
No, have you ever been like shut down? You had money held in reserve?
I know somebody that has, and they had to do with Forex.
Oh yeah, well it happens all the time. I'm doing a video on what to do when that happens, because it's happened to me.
Oh.
I'm clean. How about you, Casey?
Wow.
I've never had anything shut down. I've never even had an ad account suspended or shut down.
That must mean you're not making enough money, buddy. All right, fair enough. All right, that's actually surprising. Kieran, you're clean. I think the reason that I've had issues with PayPal is because the account that I opened when I was like 13, and back then they didn't require an age verification. So what I did is every time they would ask for it, I would just not do it. So the only thing, I don't know if I like slipped under the radar, they could never figure out the issue, but I was only able to use the mobile app on my phone. I actually never got like fully locked. So I could send money, I could receive money, I could move it to my bank, I could do everything except using the website, okay, for PayPal. So that's the issue I've had, and I want to make sure that you guys know very clearly, if you ever have issues, you can't really do anything unless you have some major connection as to getting your money sooner. What you can do is make sure you have explained your business model very well to whatever processor you're using, and that they understand that, because the problem is things like Stripe and PayPal, primarily Stripe, they don't communicate, they don't care to know, they don't really, and they're very heavy-handed. So you might want to use something like authorize.net, or depending on where you are, do some research to see what processor would work, and make sure that you actually explain yourself to them. If you can show history, show data of sales, numbers, refund rate, chargebacks, all of that, you're gonna run into a lot less issues. So it's one of those things where dropshipping is usually, unfortunately, because of a few bad apples, viewed as a bad business model. So processors don't necessarily support that fully. So what I want to do is I'm going to be doing a Q&A sometime soon on YouTube or maybe on some sort of platform. I'm going to do a Q&A on some very specific things. So if you guys would want to attend that, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to make like a sign up link or something for that, free of course. Going through, I'm going to outline a few questions myself that I'm going to answer because I know how valuable they're going to be to a lot of people, like getting their foot wet with just selling online, honestly. So if that's something you guys would want to see, let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, first one from up in the office, drop a like down below, and of course join the family, join the gang, hit that nice looking subscribe button. And I hope that everyone has an amazing day, and I'm going to continue trying to figure out how to even use this thing. I don't know. This looks like a flying saucer or a weird frisbee, but anywho, I hope that you guys crushed today. Hope you crushed the week. Hope you had a great weekend, or actually are, depending on when this is dropping. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow in the next video. Peace.